Hey everybody, Coach Troy here. Now it's time to get into Nuclear Ned's abandoned uranium mines, and Bounty Bob strikes back. Let's go. Troy here now with all those games that Bob Decrescenzo did for Atari. There was two in particular that stood out. Of course, Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest, but that was the pack-in game with the new 7800 Plus. Another game that really got to me was Bounty Bob Strikes Back. Now, looking at the other games, there was Berserk and Frenzy, but there have already been just a ton of versions of that, and the others seem like different versions of Asteroids, Asteroids Deluxe, but the 7800 version of Asteroids that we already had is my favorite version of it, so I don't think that the other ones were going to take over that. This is why we can't have nice things, right? But this one definitely seemed different and was one I wanted to pick up, so here it is. Now, Bounty Bob Strikes Back is the sequel to the very popular Miner 2049er. It was a puzzle platformer where you had to touch all of the ground throughout a mine, so you had to make contact with all the ground throughout the stage. Very popular on early 8-bit computers, like the 400, 800, Commodore 64, I think, had a version. They had a version of everything. And this is the sequel, and so this is a port from those computer games. And that is evident right away when you turn it on. Yeah, this is definitely got 8-bit computer in its soul. But what exactly is it? Well, let's see what the manual's got to say. Ahem. Can you dig it? Bounty Bob is back and ready for another adventure after his underground exploits in Miner 2049er. You'll help Bob reclaim a host of new caverns in Nuclear Ned's abandoned uranium mine while avoiding radioactive waste and mutant organisms to foil the plans of the evil Yukon Johan. Dig it. So the cover art here on the manual looks nice, got a full 10 pages of explanations, only one paragraph of story, and only one actual picture. That's all we got to actually showcase what this game looks like in the manual. Most of it's just explaining what you're going to see in the mines, like the items and the different contraptions you're going to come across. Because again, this is puzzle platformer, so there's going to be lots to tinker with. Now, when you first start out this game, looking at it here, you can tell this is definitely an old computer game. You have an option screen. Now, first thing, make sure you do this before anything else. You switch that jump control. Yeah, that jump control is insane. You can have it where you can either control where you go in the air or not when you jump. If you can't control where you are in the air in that jump, you are in for a rough ride, my friend. I think this game is pretty much impossible without that control. Other options, of course, include nifty things like the color of your hat. Go Loons. And, of course, you can make it easier. And I will say, no ego, you go easy, man. Just go easy. Make it easy on yourself. So the look of the game, it's not the most colorful. It's got some decent color to it, but definitely nothing exciting. And the graphics are not the most detailed. This definitely doesn't look like your normal console game. Still, there is a lot going on these screens. Lots of movement, lots of enemies you got to avoid, and lots of little items to help you along your way. Of course, the items all act the same. You just got to touch one. That will make you invulnerable for a second, and you can take out those organisms. And looking at those organisms, that's right. If you make any contact with organisms or things you ain't supposed to, you're going to die. You're going to die right away. For some reason, a lot of these older games, if you fell for more than a couple inches, you're gonna break your legs, and no one is there to save you. This is a common thing that I'm glad changed, but it still makes, this game plenty competitive. But I don't think it takes away too much from this game. That being said, this game is very tough. It's gonna take several attempts to figure out exactly how to beat a level. Like I said, it's puzzly. There's different items in there. You've got tunnels, you've got slides, you've got transporters, you've got utility hoists. Lots and lots of different things in there that you gotta figure out how exactly you can use them to get through this game. Each level is quite different, so you're not gonna see the same things over and over and over again. There are actually 25 different levels to this game, and, well, let's be honest, I am definitely never gonna see those later levels. Not for lack of trying, though. Luckily, there are a few things that do make it easier. Select how many points it takes to get an extra life. That is a huge help. I don't know why you would make it any higher than it needed to be. And if you do die, you don't lose your progress. That's right, not starting over with Having to do everything all over again is a huge, huge plus in this game. The sounds are nice, not too much going on there, nice and easy, nothing too distracting, and yeah, the 7800 is not exactly known for its quality amazing sound, but it gets the job done. So yeah, this is definitely a tough game. But is it a good game? This is not the style of game you're going to find on most of the consoles. Look at that. We got a mutated organism. So if you're not so easily frustrated, I think you're going to enjoy this game. But if you need something a little bit more like Super Meat Boy, this is a platformer that controls quite a bit differently than, like, say, Mr. Run and Jump. Not a whole lot of parallels there. The graphics are good, but definitely a little bit different. They might not be what you're used to. And the sound, you know, there's almost always going to be that ceiling with the sound on the 7800, so you get what you get there, but again, not terrible. So this is a game that I like a lot, but I can see how a lot of people are not going to like it. But I am very glad for something so different on the 7800. Out of all the newer games that are coming out, I think this one is probably one of the more unique ones for sure. So if you're up for that challenge, give it a shot. I think Robert Decrescenzo himself said that he can only get a few levels into this game, and he's the one who ported it. Me personally, I'm going to go eat some irradiated snacks and step on some organisms. This is Coach Troy. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for joining me as I start my journey into the world of retro gaming. If you're interested in my other hobbies of fitness or board games, check out my other channel. Anyways, this is Coach Troy. I'll see y'all next time.